Wow.
Hey, she's paying.
So she inquires about the shipment of wood to make sure that you received everything. It looks like everything's in order here.
Yep, I got it.
And she asks how long it'll be before you finish the other 4.
And I say, I could probably finish them up today. Where should I send them?
So we'll have somebody pick them up. We'll have somebody come by and get them. She pays you 15 gold for the second, in good faith. And she leaves in a better mood than that which she arrived in.
That seems impossible, but if you say so, I'm not going to call you a liar.
So what else is Mahogany doing with his morning?
Mahogany feels pretty good about the fact, like, honestly, she was so happy with that first one, I could probably make them at twice the speed, and she'd be twice as happy.
So you're just going to knock the other 4 together as quickly as possible?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. We'll say that'll take the better part of this morning and this afternoon to get everything done. Mr. the Cyclone.
Mr. the Cyclone. That's
What's up?
me.
What's up with you this morning?
I'm gonna go in plain clothes to find to go track down Happy.
Okay, you make some inquiries at the bazaar. He's kicked back in an inn nearby, in the market ward, a couple streets away from the edges of the bazaar proper.
Mm-hmm.
He seems in good spirits. He has scantily clad women bringing him sausages and eggs.
I'll look at it. I'll nod to him and say, "I did the thing you needed from me for last night."
Good. Glad to hear it. 'Cause I knew I could count on you. Who are you?
It's me.
And he squints and looks in. And he says, El Ciclon?
Hi.
Well, I've never seen you without your face on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I thought you just looked like that.
I thought you didn't, but anyway.
Which arm does he hold the fork in?
His actual regular-sized arm. He has like a quinquen-sized fork that the other arm can hold.
I'll look at the 2 scantily clad chicks and say, "Can you give us a minute, please?"
And Happy sends them downstairs to fetch you some breakfast and booze.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to. I'll explain to him what I saw when they when the particular building that they I guess they're squatting in.
Okay.
And then I'll also tell them about the Earth Genasi that was I think was tailing me as well.
And at that, he looks a little distressed. He says, "So they're on to you then?"
I don't think it is Serenity male or
Female.
Serenity's female.
I don't think she was working with them, but I'm not too sure about that, and quite frankly, I don't trust her either.
Well, we have to figure out what her stake is in all this. Could you find out more about her?
I'll see what I can dig up.
So, love to help, but unfortunately looks like I'm going to be laid up here for a few weeks, brother. Sid, have breakfast with me.
Yeah. I suppose I could, but let me tell you, man. You gotta not do that. That was but you gotta not do that stuff because I mean, come on, you nearly bled out last night.
Oh, I have plenty of blood. There's plenty more where that came from.
Didn't look like it from where I was standing last night.
Then he leans in and he says, "Well, I would say they got the worst of it, wouldn't you?"
True.
And food is brought up. And some strong beer. At 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because that's what Happy drinks.
Yep. 5 o'clock somewhere.
That was everybody's morning, yes?
Mm-hmm.
It's already 3 hours past 5 o'clock.
Mahogany, this afternoon, you're going to be finishing up work, or are you going to put it off till this evening?
I would finish it up. Why
Okay.
not just do it now?
Just do it now. You're working on the birdhouses, and someone enters the shop and calls for you by name.
And I'll turn.
And it's good old Debley. It's Mahogany, and he's in good spirits this morning. He seems happy to see you.
And I'll say, Debley, how is it?
This is not good, Mahogany. He says, there's a rumor going around that this Burke over at the Faded is shaking us down. A couple of us found out where his kip in. We're going to go light some fires. Are you in?
Always.
And he looks very elated. And he leads you outside the shop where there's a couple other, you recognize them, just low-level namers. These are ciphers of ill repute, we'll say. Yeah, they tell you the story about how this taker came by the gymnasium a couple times yesterday, shaking down Ronath for 300 gold. And it's a matter of public record. Everybody knows who he is now. So we're going to go send him a message, see if we can get him to back off. You get the sense that these other ciphers are the ones that really want to go and start fires, and Delby's just kind of along for the ride.
Seems like a good idea to me. Some Burkos are willing to put his name down on there. He has to be expecting the results.
Kelian, are you still at home?
Yes.
There's a pounding at your door a few moments into the afternoon.
Okay. I open the door.
And there's a group of angry ciphers outside. And they begin forcing their way into your house.
Ladies, gentlemen, how can I help you? What seems to be the problem?
You recognize one of them in passing, because Mahogany does contract work for various events around Sigil that the ciphers are attached to. And part of your official work before you lost your job so spectacularly was to deal with the permits and taxation of those events. So you've passed Mahogany before. You and Mahogany and Kelian have seen each other, at least at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the members of this group. 6 of them in total.
How can I help you today? I say to the group.
One of them says, "We're gonna burn your kip down."
Hold on now. There's no need to do that. I'm sure whatever is wrong, we can work this out.
And as you're saying that, the ciphers are fanning out across your living room, turning over furniture. One of them smashes a vase. One of them dumps out the soil in your potted cactus.
I'm reprimanding the one that smashed the vase.
None of them have lit any fires yet.
Okay, stop. What's the problem? I repeat myself, a little slower.
One of them stops. Tells you where it is you're shaking down Ronath. Where it is you're taking him for 300 gold. Cypher's not going to stand for that.
I'm doing no such thing. I'm the middleman in all of this. You want my boss.
Then why was your name on it?
I'm the one who's working this errand. My
Seems to me
boss
we
is the
want
one
you.
who's shaking you down.
So I'm confused. Are we lighting his kip on fire too?
You'll want to light his on fire, yes.
Who's your boss then?
His name is Torier.
I'll leave it up to Mahogany whether or not he knows that name. I don't know how high Mahogany's
Yeah.
dealings have gone with the Faded before.
I can give you his address if you'd like.
You can't. You can give him. You
I
know where
can't?
his office is. You don't know where he lives.
I can tell you where his office is in the Hall of Records.
Oh, I've got a fire going over here. It's not in the fireplace.
Okay.
How dry is the wood?
Oh, he's not setting fire to wood. He's setting fire to a mattress.
Oh, well, mattresses are meant to be on fire.
Right.
Is that the perfect state of the mattress?
Well, it seems to be burning quite well.
Perhaps it is.
Come on. There's stop. You want my boss in the Hall of Records? Nothing to do with this.
Definitely looks
I'd say
over
trying to-
Mahogany
trying
to
to
see
put
if
the
Mahogany's
fire
buying
out
any
now.
of this.
I didn't see his boss's name on that list.
You did well. You haven't seen a list at all. You were just told about a list by some ciphers of ill repute.
Well, they seem pretty trustworthy. They knew where to find this guy's address. That's more than I could do.
Shall we go there together?
Go to his office? I don't think so.
By now, the fire is spread from the mattress and has caught some drapes.
Hello?
Why? I was trying to put the fire out.
Okay. How are you doing this?
Get some water poured on the mattress.
I'm just looking around for anything expensive.
Oh, well, that's up to Kelian. I don't know how expensive he gets in here.
Probably some things.
He had a vase. It's smashed now.
Yeah, base is smashed.
Yeah, it was a shitty mace.
Like there's paintings, I'm sure. Things of that nature.
Do you have a back exit to your house? A back window or something?
Should I?
It's up to you.
Will I be able to get out of this apartment alive?
That's why I'm asking.
We didn't come here to burn you down.
Just your
Sure.
stuff.
Okay. So, where's Mahogany standing right now? Because you were talking to Kelian in the doorway, then Kelian moved away to help to try to put out the fires.
Well, I was rifling through his shit and
Okay.
looking for anything valuable.
You find some. I don't know. You find his old record collection. I don't know what to tell you.
Do I find a silver sheriff star?
You do
No.
not know.
You're not gonna find that.
But the door is still open to out of the street, and there's another
No,
pounding.
it's not.
on it. Oh, it's not. You closed it.
Oh yeah, I'm not burning someone's house down with the door open.
Then there's a pounding at the actual door, and
And
a voice from outside just yells, "Oh, it was going on in there."
I opened the door.
Oh,
There's-
there was Tina.
Everyone
There's
with the
Tina.
pounding today.
There's a hardhead patrol outside, 8 strong, and they're looking inside. Are you Kelian
Yes.
of the Fated?
Yes.
Do you seem to be having some trouble?
They're burning my apartment down.
As you're explaining this, the other ciphers have crashed their way to the back of the house, broken the back window, and slipped out.
Oh yeah, I'm gone.
Well, don't just stand there. Go after them.
And the hardhead patrolman leads around and nods, and they file in and they start putting the flames out. Leader looks back and says, "You're wanted for questioning."
Very well.
So, 2 of the hardheads go out on the street and try to chase down these fleeing ciphers. 2 of them have gone in to douse the flames. The other 4 are taking you in. Do you resist?
Nope.
And they take you out to where they have a sedan chair, which is essentially a Sigilian taxi, attached to a yoke of oxen. And they usher you inside of it, sit down, and they start taking you off to the armory. Mahogany,
What's going on here? Oh, okay.
roll me a acrobatics check.
You got it.
And roll good. Or roll well. One of those 2.
Roll best.
Roll best. Super best. That's not
That was a
best
7
enough.
to you.
That's a 7.
That's not.
Almost super.
You go out the
best
back
roll.
window that they could have opened, but they broke instead. And you're the last one out. As these ciphers are
No,
scattering.
that's simply not the case.
Coming out of the alley where it rejoins the street, though, you catch your foot on a tangle of razor vine. Trip and fall to the ground. And just as you do, the two hardheads come turning the corner from the road. Points says, "There's one now." And they're coming in at you.
I'm gonna book.
You're gonna book?
Yeah.
Should I describe a man catcher, Destil?
Oof.
All hardhead patrols have what's called a planar man catcher, which is like this big hook on a stick that grabs you, and it's magically enchanted, so anybody it grabs can't teleport or shift away. One of them's operating this thing. Your AC is
17.
17. Lashes out with this man catcher, and you barely roll to the side. Go ahead and roll initiative.
17
Yeah,
plus
you get a good roll.
That's
20.
better than my guys. So
That's
you're
the roll you should have made to begin with.
yeah, you're laying prone on the ground right now. What's your move?
Alright, I'm gonna get up.
Okay. Behind you is a dead-end alley. Next to you is the back wall of Kelian's house. The other side of you is who knows what kind of structure. A door goes into the wall there. You have no idea what it is. The hardheads
Okay,
are
so they're
blocking
putting
way
out the
street.
fire.
No, these guys aren't. There's two people in the house that are putting out the fire. More hardheads in the house.
Yeah, they were putting out the fire. How are they putting out the fire?
You'd have to go back in the house and look.
Alright, around, are there any, like, puddles or anything?
On the ground? Yeah, there's some wet spots amongst the cobble.
Alright, first I run. And as I'm running, I shape water. And to freeze the ground into ice between me and the people.
So you can move 15 feet. Which direction are you running? Back towards the dead end?
Yeah, it's a great direction. Could you give me like a street here?
You're not in a
So
street.
that I know-
You're in an alley. Back
Right, I'm
behind
just
Kelian's
trying to get an
house.
idea of like my surroundings.
On your left, you've got Kelian's house. On your right, you've got some other building that has a door, made out of black brick. You're not sure if the door is locked, and you don't know what the building is. Behind you is a dead end, and then in front of you are two hardheads, and then the street. I don't know what street it is. Where's Kelian's house exactly? Let's see if we need to. Okay, so you're in Little Arcadia, so it's a more regimented, more structured area of Sigil, where the houses tend to be the same size and in neat little rows. But you're kind of in between the cracks of two of them. So,
Are there any like walls nearby?
yeah, but you'd have difficulty climbing them.
I fucked my acrobatics earlier, but I'm looking for something that I can jump over because I'm generally pretty good at it.
The walls are too high to jump over.
And I'm just gonna go in the opposite direction then.
Okay, so you're going to move
That's
back towards
people.
the dead end, and then use your action to cast the spell, right? Icing the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does the dead end look like?
Maybe a 12-foot high wall that has iron spikes on the top of it. The wall looks scalable. It has loose bricks that could be used as handhelds or footholds. So you could probably get up the wall without any problem, and then the difficult part would be navigating across the spikes at the top.
Okay, so if I next action, just because this is something my character would know, if I were to thorn whip the top of it, would I be able to pull myself up it easier?
No. Spikes would break the whip.
Okay.
Alright. So what's your action? Last call for action.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
That was
That's
a lot
all
of
done.
deliberation for a cipher.
No, I said my action very quickly. I
you're-
froze the ground.
What spell are you using to freeze the ground? Control water?
Shape water.
Shape water. Okay. And you run towards 15 feet, gets you to the back of the wall.
Yeah.
The two hardheads come after you. And one of them steps forward and steps out on the ice. And he starts to slip, but he catches himself. The one behind him doesn't fare so well. He slips forward and falls tripping the one in front of them. They fall in a tangle on the ground. And they don't manage to catch you. They're picking themselves up off the ground. They think they've got you cornered. They just look really pissed now. Your move.
I climb up the wall, and I'm gonna try to get across the other side.
Okay. How are you going to try to navigate the spikes at the top?
I'm going to try to. I think shape water would probably work again. I could try to do it so that it's making them smoother.
Well,
Like smooth out the points.
They're not made of water, though. They're iron.
I was thinking there would be some like dew or something then.
No.
Then no. The only thing I'm going to do is just kind of like brace it with my quarterstaff and use it to pull me over.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an athletics check. Nice. You shimmy up the wall. A couple of the loose bricks clamber to the ground as your foot pulls them free. Use your quarterstaff to get leverage up on top of the spikes. You deftly, gingerly move over them and drop down the other side of the wall. And now you're standing on the other side of the street. Now you're standing on a more busier thoroughfare. At this point, you just blend into the crowd.
Yep, that's the plan.
And where do you go from here?
I'm going to go to gymnasium.
Okay. Kelian,
Yes.
you're not offered any answers in the ride over. Any questions you direct at the hardheads, they just tell you that you're just wanted for questioning. That's all for now. You're not an official suspect in any crime. You're just wanted for questioning. Unless, of course, you have anything to confess.
No, don't be ridiculous. I haven't done anything wrong.
Are you suggesting that the Harmonium are ridiculous?
No. I have nothing but utmost respect for law and order.
Good. Glad to hear it. We have nothing but utmost respect for the fine tax collectors of our fair city.
Hmm.
You've got about an hour's journey ahead of you in this very uncomfortable tension amidst this oxen-pulled carriage. Who else hasn't done afternoon yet?
Ciclon.
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
Who wants to go next? We'll let Riot go next. You're at the top of the list here.
Okay. Riot is going. So, in the Revolutionary League, there are cells.
Yes.
But like, how do people join and like how does anything get done? Basically, in the Revolutionary League is what I'm asking.
Now, are you asking for like an in-character answer or kind of an out-of-character, like just general Planescape lore answer?
In character, because what I want to do is go find some other unoccupied anarchists.
In character, you would just keep your ears to the ground. You would listen for the telltale signs, and when you stumbled across a cell, you would just kind of fall in with them and do a couple jobs until they accept you. Out of character answer, they don't get anything done. Individual cells sometimes pull off big heists, but simply because there's no central organization and order, they never get together enough to pull off anything really extravagant.
Right.
The individual cells in a lot of ways are at odds with each other as much as they are with the rest of society. The Revolutionary League, like every other faction, has so many philosophies inside it that there's a lot of clash. Some of them want to bring everything down violently. Some of them want to go through proper channels. Some of them just want to set fires.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and see if I can find a couple of anarchists that I trust. Maybe people from like cells that I've worked before.
okay.
Rather than go and have to like prove myself to new people.
Okay, so what kind of cell are you looking for? What kind of cells have you worked with?
So I would work with mostly people who were interested in the same kind of thing that I am, which is bringing down lawful structures, specifically.
You know a cell that you worked with once. It's been over a year ago now. But they worked very closely with the Doomguard. And this Doomguard wizard managed to come up with an acidic concoction that could be applied to foundation stones of buildings. The plan was to apply this to as many buildings as possible and have them literally crumble down. In practice, it didn't work as well as you had wanted, and most of you were arrested.
Okay.
But most of those people are out and about now, and you've heard their names on the streets. You know where to find them.
All right. So I'm going to head to one of the kit.
So are you going to touch base with one of the anarchists or one of the Doomguard?
One of the anarchists.
And who do you track down? Why don't you pay a visit to our favorite website, fantasynamegenerator.com.
Yeah.
It's weird that you guys have never mentioned that to me before.
Haven't we? Oh, it's the best website. And so
What kind of generator should I use here? Anyone got a favorite generator that they want to use for this anarchist?
Scandinavian names.
Scandinavian generator.
Half-orc names.
Might as well be Scandinavian name generator. Okay, they don't have Scandinavian, but we'll go with Icelandic.
That works.
Same thing. That's probably offensive.
Vilmunder is his name.
Okay, and what's his race?
This guy is a... we'll call him a Githzerai.
Now, the Doomguard wizard who actually came up with this concoction to begin with, he's still in the prison. As far as you know, he's still hanging up by his ankles somewhere. You and Vilmunder are two of the people who managed to not get scragged. So you touch base with Vilmunder. His keep is somewhere deep in the hive. He pulls up roots and moves every couple weeks. He's, like a lot of anarchists, he lives in just a fit of paranoia. But you find him, and he remembers finally working with you.
And I'll say to him, I'll suggest that there's there's a small bit of business I could use some help with. It actually came from Yopis, if you know him.
And he gives you this very sour look. He just says, "I do."
Yeah, sounds like you know him the way I know him. And that's why I'm not going to him with this. I need someone I can trust more than that Burke.
So the philosophical question here is, how can you ever really trust an anarchist?
It's true.
You can trust them to be an anarchist.
We probably get infiltrated as much as we infiltrate other people.
He asks if the job has anything to do with bringing down Yopis. Like, can we throw that in the mix?
I say no. It sounds like I say I'm not in this to betray anyone else loyal to the cause.
All right. Maybe we don't
Just
plant
yet.
him.
Not
Maybe I
today.
just take off his tail and wear it as a hat.
First things first. Let's keep our eyes on the prize here.
All right. What is the prize? What have you got?
Prize is a man named I literally can't remember his name. Where is it? Where's his token?
Just
Prize
generated
is a
him.
man named Prize is a man named Kelian. I don't know anything about him.
He says, I do.
You do? Well, this is turning out to be easier than I thought.
And he laughs. A couple of years ago, I did a stint in the Hall of Records. I wanted to get in there and collect as many of them I can and put them in the fireplace.
Is Kelian an anarchist secretly?
He shakes his head. He's a nobody. He's a pencil pusher.
No, sorry, that out of character.
He might be. We don't know.
He's a taker.
Yeah. So he's a records man then.
He nods. This is the worst possible job you could imagine having.
Well, what this is all about. Yeah. and like and Riot nods because she's had the same sort of job once or twice before. In various guises. Yopus came storming up to me on the street, didn't know what I'd done with some hardhead named Anastas the Truthful. Never heard of this hardhead before in my life. Yopus is absolutely convinced, couldn't shake the notion loose from it, that I'd done something with this Anastas. So...
Did you? Did you do anything with her?
Did I? No.
Why not?
No, I was telling the truth when I said up and mess with in the middle of the street. Now is it?
Right,
do
but
things
Yopus
subtle.
had some kind of job dealing with his Anastas. If you had the ability to stick it in his craw, why didn't you? Make his life harder.
Because we're all working for the same cause, damn it!
And he slams his hand down on the table. Says, I'm not working for Yopus's cause, and he's not working for mine.
Alright, listen, forget Yopus for the moment. The important thing about Yopus is that he thinks he's pinned something on me, and I'm trying to get evidence that he hasn't. Everything I've read about this Anastas thing leads me to this Kelian person is involved. All I need is a line on him, and you've said he works at the Hall of Records.
This all sounds like it's getting very complicated. If you're afraid of Yopus, why don't I just take his tail off and wear it as a hat?
Well, go ahead and do that if that's what you want.
We cut out the middleman. I know a good place that will roast up his meat and sell it for a copper.
It's ironically named the middleman.
Or do you have some reason to keep Yopus alive? Some design of your own?
And I shake my head and say, look, I don't care about Yopus one way or the other. This is what I've heard, and this is why I'm coming to you. In the course of investigating this whole thing, with Anastas and Kelian, I've heard that there's slave trade going on in the Hive, and that's the kind of thing that I could use some help stopping.
He nods. He says, there's been some disappearances. We've noticed it ourselves. It's associated with a group of Earth Genasi. Several of them are ciphers. We've got someone working that angle already.
Oh, really? Mind if I join in? I'd love to work that angle with you.
And I would let you, except you've worked with Yopus.
It was only the once, and I left that cell as soon as I found out what he was.
I know. Just the tip. We get it. How is Kelian involved?
Don't know yet. All I heard, just heard his name in connection with this Anastas character.
I'll tell you what I heard. And he leans in. He says, I heard that there's a fated named Kelian involved in this slavery ring. That's what I heard.
Since Kelian ties in, sounds like we ought to pay him a visit, huh? Maybe burn his kip down?
We can... You get the sense that, at this point, like, the gears are turning in Vilmunder's head. Like, he's trying to find a connection to bring down the whole Hall of Records. He's like, how high up does this go? He's, like, reaching for the big conspiracy here. But he does know where Kelian lives. First things first. Break in, we poke around a bit, see what we can find.
Alright, and then we can burn it down.
He says, you can't burn down a man's kip.
Why
Not in the
not?
middle of the clerk's
You just-
ward. Are you crazy? You'll draw
just
attention
talking
from the
about
hardheads
killing a
all
man
over Sigil. Riot. It's
Fine.
It's one thing to shiv a man in
think-
the hive. It's another thing to start a fire in the clerk's ward.
I'll make you deal. I won't bring a match if you won't skin Yopus alive.
Yet.
And I'll reach out my hand.
He accepts it. Shakes your hand.
Now, shall we be off to a certain Kelian skip? See what we can find?
He says, I'll tell you where you can find it. And he does. He describes where Kelian's house is.
Not coming along then?
And he has other work to do.
Okay.
He and his cell are working the angle with the Earth Genasi.
Okay.
But he accepts your help grudgingly as a free agent.
Yeah, then I'll go ahead and head over to Kelian's place.
Okay, and who else hasn't had afternoon yet? Or was that everybody? Did Serenity go?
Serenity has not acted yet.
What is Serenity doing this afternoon?
Serenity is going to ask around the gymnasium about the monk that she saw, or the guy she saw training with the monk, the one who was in the fight.
The Earth Genasi?
Yeah.
Who are you asking? Anybody in particular, or are you just asking like the low-level guys?
Just the low-level guys.
Okay. Their names are Granite and Lutu. They're Earth Genasi brothers. They joined up about a week ago. So far, that's all anybody knows about them in this area. They haven't had any major dealings with any faction events. As far as anybody knows, they haven't left Sigil since signing up. Ronoth hasn't given them anything in particular to do. The first one, Granite, he carries a sword. He's the first one that Ciclon knocked unconscious. He doesn't hang around the gymnasium much. The younger one, Lutu, the one with the illicit knife, he actually fell in with, what's his name, Fravad, here at the gymnasium, and has been seen, as you saw him earlier, working out, doing martial arts routines in the gymnasium. And this leads them to believe that one of them is serious about moving up in the ciphers and one of them is not. But
Which one was the one who said he didn't want to be there? Was it the one with the knife? During the fight? Or after the fight, I mean?
The one with the knife said this is getting us into trouble.
And that's Lutu.
That's Lutu.
Okay.
You saw him earlier today,
Yep.
sparring with Fravad. But nobody here knows anything about their fight. Nobody knows anything about what went down in the hive last night.
Right. Okay. That's what I wanted to learn.
Mahogany. Are you spending this
Yeah.
evening making 2 more birdhouses?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I had finished, actually.
You would have finished if you worked through the afternoon, but instead you went with a bunch of ciphers to burn down someone's house.
How far along did we get on that?
Burning down the house? Not too far. A bunch of hardheads showed up.
That was not, I don't think, my perfect form. I think I'm going to be staying away from those ciphers in the future.
If you work through the evening, you'll get all the bird cages done by dinner time.
This feels a little bit more right. I think I'm going to stick with this.
Is Serenity doing anything else this afternoon?
No, that was it.
Okay. Then let's go on to El Ciclon. What's up this evening, my friend? It seems he's on mute. Or not there. Let's move on.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay.
I didn't realize I was on mute. I'm sorry. I was saying I don't know if I even got an afternoon action. Last I heard, I was having breakfast with Happy.
Oh. Well, I probably asked if anybody hadn't, but you were on mute, so I didn't hear you say no.
So I didn't. Yeah, exactly.
So what's going on this afternoon?
In the afternoon, honestly, I have no idea. I mean, I really can't think of anything to do. I mean, I'd just as soon wash my hands of the whole thing, but just going over to the Genasi's hideout is probably just likely to get me killed or worse. So I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that straight up. That's not smart. Let's I don't know. Maybe find that. See if I can track down that Genasi chick and see if she can help me. Maybe if we're not working at cross purposes.
What are you going to look for?
Thing is, I had no idea. I got the hell out of there like as soon as I possibly could. Probably start in the area that I'm at right now, the gymnasium district.
Asking after Earth Genasi in the gymnasium?
No, I'm asking. I'm asking after. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it would be a female
Point
or
of note,
Genasi.
is that Serenity only has one eye. She has a large scar
I would have noticed
head
that.
to toe.
I would have noticed that.
So
yeah.
she's somewhat distinct looking.
And or Genasi, one eye, etc. Asking
6'10". Yeah.
Asking after Destil, basically.
I mean, she's a familiar face in and out of the gymnasium. She's in and out of Sigil all the time. She works as a guide and muscle along caravan routes on the Outlands from time to time. But she's in Sigil now.
You know where I can find her?
Staying at the gymnasium, but nobody knows where she is right this second.
Okay.
Where was Serenity in the afternoon?
In the gymnasium asking about the Earth Genasi.
Okay. In that case, then yeah, you're pointing her direction.
Okay, I'll go up to her and say, hey, yeah, about last night. That was something.
She's just kind of staring at you oddly.
What? What
Do
is it?
you just come here regularly to train?
Me? No, I'm just.
Are you in mask or out of mask right now?
I'm out of. I just remembered. I'm fucking out of mask.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Shit.
do you still
Yeah.
say that?
No, I'll shake my head. Is there a place where we can talk privately?
Sure, I have a room.
All right. Go there. I'll go into my pack and pull out the mask I was wearing last night. You must tell no one of this.
All right.
Anyway,
She's smirking at this point.
in any case, why were you there last night?
In the bar specifically, it sounded interesting. As far as following them, again, I heard that they're working for
I
a
thought you
slavery
were following me.
Well, you were following them. That's why I was interested in you.
Well, all right then. In any case, I guess we're working on the same thing.
So you're trying to bring down the slavers too?
Well, I'd just as soon not have anything to do with them. I'm doing this as a favor to a friend. The fellow I was fighting with last night.
There's a Deo named Jandar that's apparently trying to bring slaves into or out of Sigil.
That name sound familiar to me?
It does. Back when you were a slave, Jandar was a taskmaster.
Frickin' yeah, his yeah. As soon as you mention that name, like you hear his knuckles crack, like as he clenches his fist.
Jandar's favorite weapon, favorite tool was the Scourge. And it sounds as though if he's in Sigil now, it sounds as though he's moved up the chain a little bit.
Well, we should go to the hive and see if we can find evidence of this. I have an in with the Hardheads. They'll happily bring Hell's Wrath down on them if they find evidence of slavery. Let's go. She's got her warhammer on her back and halfway out the door.
All right then. Take a long sigh and then keep going. Go along
Okay.
with her. By the by, you wouldn't happen to know anybody named Nancy, would you?
Why do you ask?
Pull out my card. And
I'm just
show
sort
it-
of. I
and
just
show
gotta
it to her.
stop at that point. And I'm going to reach into my cloak and pull out the necklace with the spider on it.
And I'll pull out my book, and pull out the book, flip it open. You'll see the fourth leaf clover, and it's got the spider on it too.
Strange.
That's a bit that
Was your book missing?
it was.
My necklace too.
Okay. Well then, I guess we should stick together then.
There's no time to think about it. Let's go.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Kelian,
Yes.
So, just on like a scale of 1 to 10, how bad does your life suck right now?
Man, it went from 10 to 1 real fast. This character's come to an end before it even started.
You're taken to the armory, and a couple of hardheads escort you inside into one of their interrogation rooms.
Yeah.
And remember the harmonium with a great big book and quill and a big bushy mustache. He pulls out a piece of paper. It's a form involving... God, even I can't remember what it was supposed to be now. Involving proof of payment of quasi-annual auxiliary construction permit task in the amount of 300 gold pieces. Filed by Ronath the Romani of the Transcendent Order.
Okay.
And he slides it across the table. This is you, Kelian, of the Fated.
I nod. Well, was me. My boss fired me today.
Well, that is none of our concern. What we're concerned with is why you're trying to collect this tax. We had it looked into at Ronath's request, and there is no legal connection to these monies.
Give an exasperated sigh and said, "You'll have to ask my boss then." As I told Ronath, I'm just the messenger boy on this one.
And he's staring at you for a moment. So you're telling him that you didn't want your name attached to it. You're telling him that Torier is the man you told Ronath to see. Because you told Ronath it was your name that was going down on it.
I thought I made it clear that Torier was the one that this came from when dealing with Ronath.
Ronath was dealing with you personally, though.
Right, he was dealing with me personally, but I told him it came from my boss.
But Ronath put your name down and asked if that was okay. And then you said yes. Correct?
Yeah. Right.
So, is that what you're telling the hardhead? Or are you telling him that you told Ronath to go to Torier? Or are you taking responsibility for it?
I told him to go to...
Go to Torier?
Yeah, I told him to go to Torier.
Okay. So the hardhead looks up, and another guard standing in the door. Says, "Do we know this Torier?" The other one shrugs. "Damned if I know. Bunch of
I would like to
bleeding
point out
thieves,
again.
if you ask me."
I would like to point out again that this is technically no longer my concern, as he fired me today. So...
Fires you on what grounds?
I looked at him the wrong way? I don't even know.
Is it possible that your boss found out that you were trying to elicit bribes from the factions of Sigil? In the extent of, and he points at the paper, 300 gold?
No. Absolutely not.
So where is your place of residence, Mr. Kelian?
Well, I imagine what's left of it is in Little Arcadia, near Crystal Dew Lane.
He scrawls something down in red ink. And he asks you to hold out your hand.
Okay.
And he takes the ink and he scrawls some sort of symbol on the back of your hand.
Okay.
He says, "I take from your celestial heritage that we can trust that you'll remain in town for questioning if need be, while we investigate into this Torier."
Sure.
Very good. You're free to go.
Thank you. And I get the fuck out of there.
So you go home and your house is on fire again.
Whole lot of get the fuck out this session.
So where does Kelian go then?
I'm gonna head back to my apartment. He gave me a rolled up piece of paper with the thing on it?
No, he scratched down some stuff on a piece of paper in red ink. Then he used the same red ink to make a mark on your hand. It doesn't look to be like a letter or anything. It's just a mark.
Just a mark?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if it's magical or not. Okay, yeah, fine. I head back to my place.
Okay. And it's still, I mean, hasn't burned down all the way.
Oh, thank goodness.
You go in and lots of your furniture is smashed. They unless Mahogany took anything, I don't think he did though. But nothing valuable was stolen, just destroyed.
I was looking, but then the cops came.
I start cleaning up the place, and then, as I do, I am formulating in my head the best way to forge Torier's suicide note.
This is Kelian's Eve.
Kelian is neutral, I think.
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
Say so.
Wait, what?
If you say so.
No, I asked if this is his evening action.
Oh, I thought you asked if he was evil.
Oh, that's
no.
what I thought too. No, his evening action was questioning and then probably traveling mostly. By the time he gets back to his house, it'll be on in the late night. It's a long way away.
Because Riot's on her way.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, by the time...
Too.
So, when Riot gets there... Kelian wouldn't have been back yet.
No,
So
probably not.
do you wait for him or do you break in?
I'll break it.
And it's easy enough because in the back alley there's already a broken window.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most convenient breaking and
Man,
entering
broken
you've
window
seen.
is policy is right. There's a broken window for 5 minutes. There's already more crime.
What persona is Riot in right now? Like, what disguise, if any?
Right now, none.
None. Okay. And what do you do when you get into Kelian's house? It's going to be up to him to tell
I'm
you
gonna search
what
the
all's
place.
in there. So,
See if I can find any evidence. Moment with Anna. That's the truthful.
I'll tell you what you do find.
Mhm.
You do find Kelian's sword. Because he would have been disarmed before taken into the armory. So he does own a short sword. Where that is in the house, I don't know. It's up to Kelian.
Under the mattress, maybe?
Well, not anymore because the mattress was burned. So
Yeah. Probably just in a closet somewhere.
okay. So yeah, in one of the closets you find a short sword. But as to what else you find there, that's up to Kelian.
Crossbow would probably be, or yeah, the light crossbow would probably be in there too. The short sword.
Do you have the insignia on your person?
Yeah.
So you were
Yes. Yes, I was. Like,
went into the harmonium.
mhm.
Yep.
They didn't search me, so.
That's ballsy.
What
Yeah.
am I gonna do? Get rid of it in the middle of throwing the... Oh, but pardon me, I'm gonna throw this mysterious object out of the window on this cart. Pay me no mind.
Hey, you pulled it off, man. I'm just admiring.
And as you're rooting around,
If I don't find anything, then I'm gonna wait for.
so you're just gonna wait there in the apartment for Kelian to get home?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you're searching around the upstairs of the house, you hear somebody entering the front door. And this is late at night. It's well on after... I mean, can't say the sun went down, because the sun didn't go down, but it got dark.
All right, now I'll drop my rapier and
God.
wait, just in case.
I didn't hear
Sorry,
that.
Nick, what did you say?
There was Mega Man music.
And I'll make sure that I'm gonna and draw my own rapier.
Okay. Kelian, you have no idea anybody's in the house right now.
Sure. Why would I think so? Yeah. Go in, start turning on the lights.
Okay, you start
Turn on the lighting
setting up
candles,
lanterns, getting them lit. looking at the big mess you have ahead of you. Is your intention to clean it up tonight, or worry about it
Yeah.
tomorrow?
Clean it up tonight.
Okay.
Clean up tonight and formulate what I want the suicide note to say.
So from where you're at, right, you hear downstairs furniture being moved into place, things being moved around. Sounds like things are being set to order down there.
All right, I'm gonna carefully and like stealthily, so I'll make a stealth check in a second. Go down the stairs.
Roll it.
Okay, let's see.
Well,
Wow.
Kelian,
This is
well-
not getting great. That's a 4. It's a 4 in stealth.
yeah, Kelian's passive is 14, so...
That sounds like a creaky step right at the wrong second.
Well, what happened was one of the ciphers managed to tip over a large potted plant onto the stairs. So there's broken glass and soil everywhere. And you're trying to step gingerly, but your heel crunches really hard against one of the pieces of the vase. And Kelian, you hear that sound from the staircase. And look up and you see
Yeah.
the Tiefling on the staircase with her rapier drawn.
I let out another sigh. What's your beef with me?
I don't know. You kill.
Who's asking?
I've been hearing a bunch of stuff about you from various sources.
Are you the one Torier sent to kill me?
Want to hear your side of the story?
Are you the one Torier sent to kill me?
Who's
You're
Tori?
lucky I don't have a weapon on me, so...
Both upstairs, genius.
I'm Kelian. Who are you? What do you want to know?
We don't need to talk about that right now. What we need to talk about is whatever involvement you have with Anastas the Truthful and some slavers operating out of the Brass City. No, because I've got all the weapons here.
I shrug and I say, I know nothing about that.
And as he's doing this, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. Give me a second to pull that up. I need to refresh my memory. Because I forget if he gets to save on the first turn or if he has to wait till the second.
Nodal should know.
You'd have to detect my thoughts to find out.
Yeah.
Works.
Bear with me just 1 second.
It's fucking complicated.
On the first turn, you get its surface thoughts with no save. It's just you get to read whatever's on the very surface of his mind. To probe deeper than on subsequent rounds, then he gets a save. So what's on your surface? Like, what's right on the top layer of your mind right now, Kelian?
Exhaustion, frustration, a good day. What seemed to be a good day ended as a bad day.
I do seem to remember him thinking about what
I
a
cutting
suicide
out.
note.
I couldn't hear that.
Exhaustion, a little frustration about how it's gone from being a really good day to a really bad day, and whether or not Torier has sent whoever this is, meaning you, to kill him.
Now, Kelian, you very clearly noticed Riot casting the spell. Because it has all kinds of components to it. It has both verbal and somatic components to it. So you know Riot's doing something magical in your house, or at least pretending to do something magical in your house. Okay. And that's where we're at right now.
I raise up my hands in a surrendering sort of motion. You have all the control here. There's nothing I can do.
Bill. Some Earth John.
Nick, you're breaking up. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Nick,
But what do you know about Anastasia Truthful and these Earth Genasi flavors I keep hearing about.
I know that my boss wanted her dead. I know nothing about the slavers.
Are you maintaining detect thoughts into the second round?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, Kelian, you can make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, the DC is 14.
That is a 21.
Okay. And you feel as soon as you answer the question, you feel something probing deep into your mind, looking for something. You feel it there and immediately shunt it out.
Okay.
And Riot, you feel him push the presence out of your mind, and you cease getting anything from his brain psychically.
Yeah.
I told you, you have all the control here. You have all the power. No need to do that.
Well, so you say, but you're still not spilling what I want to hear.
Well, sometimes what you want to hear isn't exactly what's actually happening.
Who's this boss of yours then, who supposedly set up all this mysterious conspiracy?